The hardest part is showing up, you know. One thing I want to share with you guys, I had one of my virtual assistants, her brother passed away, right? Brother passed away yesterday, and today she was already texting, "Hey, hey sir, I can work tonight." You know what I mean? So what I did, I was like, "Hey, you know what? Just take as much time as you need off, right?" Obviously, it's her brother. He was an overseas Filipino worker, and they found him passed away in the ship, and so it really impacted her, like it would any of us, But that's the thing, right? Like some people, they operate differently. She's like, oh, I have to now. I have to go harder because maybe my family depended on my brother's income. You get what I'm saying? So just something to think about. I know we all go through something. We all lose loved ones, and the way I'm saying is, what are you doing today to build that legacy? You get what I'm saying? Like my grandkids are going to be forced to watch me on YouTube, right? Because I'm I'm gonna leave that for them, right? That's what I'm building, right? The last name Gill is it's gonna go a long way, and all these reps of showing up even when you don't want to, even when you got something going on, right? Those are the days that's gonna matter. All right, those are the days gonna matter. And like I said, we all go through something. All right, but on a positive note, I have a special guest. If you guys don't know him, his name is Chris Medina. Do me a favor in the chat real quick. Write some things. Write some crazy things that you've known someone make $1 million off of, or seven figures. Like write some crazy things. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously don't OnlyFans, but I mean, besides that, right? That's the giveaway right there. But write some stuff that you've known someone make, you know, a substantial amount of money, and this is where I'm gonna segue this. Okay, I knew a dog groomer who made seven figures. Okay, I knew well, this person, he would train dogs and then sell them for like 40, 50,000. You get 30 of those and you're already at seven figures. Okay. But I never knew, right? This is just, you know, mindset wise, back then, whoever knew that you can make a substantial amount of money by selling hearing aids, right? Like literally. And I'm talking about, can you hear me? You know what I mean? Like, can you hear me? Like seriously. But one thing that, before I bring on the speaker, one thing you guys gotta remember: if you can make seven figures off of that, you can make seven figures off of any business because it's the same model. Okay, you just got to know how to scale it. That's all it is, right? Chris is he's not a one man show, but he built it, from the ground up. Okay, guys. So real quick, I want you guys to, this is what I tell people, right? You want to get in the room with six figure, seven figure speakers. Period. That's where it's at. If you don't have a seven figure speaker in your contacts, you got a weak circle, and maybe you're not investing enough, because he's going to talk about his journey, obviously how much he's invested. So real quick, I want to bring him on. Um, Without further ado, right, Christopher.
Brother, brother, can you hear me? Everything's audio's good?
Audio's good. Check 1 2 from he was from Echo Parque, right? It was is that what it is? Echo Parque.
That's right, man. I grew up in Echo Park, right here in LA. Is anybody from around there?
Anybody near
Oh,
Echo
look at him.
Park?
They said Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo's from Echo Park, man, right there on Glendale, Montana. That was my little hood right there. So Yeah, guys. Hey, Santiago, I appreciate you having me on, and I'll try to provide as much value as I can. So, yeah, I mean, you wanted me to talk about my entrepreneurial journey, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's people. I want them to understand. Like, obviously, were you an entrepreneur since day one? Like, what was that road like? Because entrepreneurship, people want what you have, but they don't want to go what you went through. So, can you share with that real quick, just so they get a snippet and how you were able, at the, towards the end, how were you able to build this empire on your business?
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, guys, I started from the bottom, and just like a lot of people did. So I grew up in Echo Park. My mom was a single mother. It was just me and my sister, and she lived paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, we were never hungry, but I never had the things that I really wanted, all the toys, the fancy Game Boy, the PS1, Xbox, and all that stuff, right? So that really hurt growing up. So, but fast forward, you know, I went to high school, and then I saw this guy. He was selling Gatorades, right? And I was like, man, this guy in PE, he just sells out. Every time we hit third period PE, I used to go to John Marshall High School, and he would just sell out. And I was like, man, I see a market for that. Of course, I didn't say the word market, right? Now that we're entrepreneurs and business owners, we know what the word market is, right? There's clientele for that. So yeah, so then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it out. So I started to buy Gatorades from Costco. My mom would take me. I would freeze them overnight. In the morning, take them out, put them in my big old Hummer backpack, and bam, I was off to school. Even the teachers would say like, man, what do you got in there? And I was just like, you know what? It's just all my books and stuff, because the schools will try to shut you down like this. Right? They don't teach you anything about money, selling, products, marketing, none of that. Even the top business schools, like it's just they're way backed up. So then and there, I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, business owner, because I saw people, making money, and I was like, why don't we have money? And then I always had that rich uncle. Does anybody have that rich uncle, or that uncle that's doing pretty good? My uncle had a Lexus. So he had his home, he had his Lexus. He would treat us to dinners, vacations. And I was like, man, I got to learn. So, and then I knew, I was like, man, I got to get mentorship from him. So he was a hearing aid dispenser. And then, I was working two jobs. My daughter came along when I was 19, and I was just feeling the pressure working two jobs. I used to work at BJ's, and then I was working at CVS at night. And I would do that every single day. Like, I literally didn't have a full day off. It was just like a half day off, maybe sometimes. So, that helped me, make sure that, I mean, that was painful, right? So I knew I wanted to get out of that. So then my uncle offered me that opportunity, started to learn. And then I got my license to be a dispenser. And then the next thing you know, he's like, business is not doing well, so I'm gonna have to lay you off. So, but I knew that I wanted to start my own business, my own thing. So, working with him, working all these other jobs, I had saved like about 10 grand. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to burn the boats. I am going to commit. So the first thing you got to do is commit, right? If you don't commit, then there's really nothing. So you have to commit to whatever it is that you want to do. So, whatever, I left my job, I had my 10 grand, and I was like, I got to make this happen ASAP. So I got this little office, and I started seeing all these patients from this little room. This little room, it was like 12 by 12 feet. I checked patients in there myself. I tested patients. I fit patients with hearing aids in there. I was like, man, I don't even trust myself in here. But, I had a good service. I had a good product. I was trying to help people. And little by little, we just started to scale. First year in 2015, I did 37,000. The next year, I did 80,000. Next year, 180,000. And I just kept doubling, doubling, doubling to seven figures plus. So let me know if you guys have any questions. But
Quick question, real quick, Chris. So that way we can make it, just a little Q&A.
yeah,
What when first year in business, that's pretty good. 37,000. Usually people go negative their first year. Uh, but so you already had the skills of right the hearing aid because your uncle taught you, and he said business wasn't doing good. Was it because he didn't know marketing? Was it because he got comfortable? What do you think was it?
I think he got comfortable and didn't really do too much marketing. So I learned the hearing aid part, right? I got my license, I knew hearing aids. But once I launched my business, I quickly figured out that I needed to know about sales. I had no clientele. I wasn't in a commercial area. I couldn't afford to have a storefront. So I had to learn marketing to bring in clients.
And then and like one of the things that I think is inspiring is like literally he got a room. I'm sure it was probably like what, less than 1,000 a month, something small, right? Just literally just to get a room, and then you were doing everything with the patients, right?
Correct, correct. So my industry, of course, there's some businesses that you can work from home, but hearing aids, I mean, you have to have some type of location where, patients can visit, and it has to be a little more professional. Um, but yeah, yeah,
Okay.
correct.
And then so and for those of you guys that are watching, right? And I'm sure Christopher went through this, like when you start your own business, you only need like one or two people to believe in you, right? One or two people like, hey, Christopher, yeah, can you test me out for these hearing aids? I don't know the process, but right. And I'm sure that you felt encouraged when a couple people, like you even said, I wouldn't even trust myself in the room, which is kind of crazy to say, but they gave you that push to keep going. How did that feel?
Correct. No, it felt amazing. It felt amazing. So luckily, I was able to choose a product that is super highly profitable. So that's another thing. So I always tell a lot of people, make sure you got a good product that you like, love, believe in, that can make profit, right? Because when I sold a hearing aid, I would sell them for like $2,000 to about $8,000, depending on the set and the technology. But for sure, I'm gonna, you know, 4x, maybe sometimes even 10x what the hearing aid cost. So it was very profitable. Um, and then, yeah, like I said, I had to learn how to sell because I would start seeing patients and then I was like not confident. I wouldn't know how to present the product. And quickly realized I had to invest in sales. So I started working with Grant Cardone. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people here know who's Grant Cardone. I bought Cardone University. I paid lifetime access for it. I started working with him. And that quickly helped me scale real quick.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So Grant Cardone, you probably invested in what, 2019 or around there?
Like 2018, 2018, 2017, 2018. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool, cool. So when did you get your first employee? What year, like roughly? Because I think that's something that I struggle with. It was
Yeah.
just me, right? You're HR, you're freaking customer service, you're freaking the
For
tester. When did
everything in
you?
the beginning, when you open a business, hopefully you have, fat. And I mean, working with family could be tough sometimes too. But yeah, at the beginning, you're wearing a lot of hats. So first year, like I said, I did 37,000. There's just no way I can hire an employee. Second year, did 80,000. I was still like, I'm still good. About the third year, then I was like, you know what? All right, that's it. I need a receptionist to start taking inbound calls. So once you get to a certain level, you want to make sure you delegate tasks that are not money making activities. I call them MMAs, right? So by the third year, you know, hiring somebody, minimum wage, maybe a little over minimum wage as a reception to just handle the calls, make calls, follow up with your clients. Um, it's super, super valuable and it frees up your time to work on the business.
One thing I want to add though with me is before I got my real like employee, I was doing virtual assistants, right? Because they're like you pay them $3 an hour, $3 to $4 an hour. You give them small tasks to see if
Yeah.
they can do bigger loads. Like, hey, can you call these clients and just set up calls, like things like that. And I know we overlook it sometimes. We're like, hey, well, I can't afford. Well, if you think about it, $3 or $4 an hour, right? And then they work for you 3 hours a day. You're literally paying what, 10, $15 a day for someone to do little things like, hey, customer service, hey, respond to these texts or something like that. If you really think about that, like that's an investment because if you only get one or two clients from that virtual assistant, it paid itself times, a little bit more. So if you're starting as an entrepreneur, I recommend, definitely getting a virtual assistant. You can find them on Upwork, Fiverr, right? Upwork, Fiverr. I like Fiverr because you can test them out. And I also love this onlinejobs.ph. Them Filipinos, bro, they give you the world, bro. They just roll out that red carpet and they know English. So onlinejobs.ph.
What
Literally,
about Spanish speaking?
Spanish speaking, you can go to Upwork.
Oh,
Upwork, upwork.com. Also, Fiverr. That's where I found my. If you guys know Carolina, she's like one of my top employees, literally, like and she's a lawyer. But then in Colombia, everybody's a lawyer, everybody's a nurse, everybody's a doctor. You know what I mean? So the fact that she's, a plus, she's a lawyer, dude, she's amazing, right? So I found her on Fiverr, but then when you find someone good, you want to pay them well. I know that the minimum wage in Colombia is probably like $800. So she makes like double, triple that just from home. Okay. And that's one thing to consider. And she only works, 5 hours a day. Pero yeah. For those of you that are watching, definitely, if you're starting a business, trust me, it'll save you time and energy. $100 goes a long way. They can do a lot of stuff for, hey, can you organize this in alphabetical order for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? It helps. But okay, cool. So Chris, so you got Grant Cardone. What was your first conference? Did you go to like a Grant Cardone conference before Albert?
correct. No, yeah, the first one was the 10X Growth Conference. Was here in Vegas. Yeah, that was
Okay,
back
cool.
in 2018, I believe.
And then you was in the room and you were like, hey man, I want all these people making more money than me. You're like, hey man, this is the room I want to be in.
Yeah. I quickly realized that I was like, man, I gotta start getting in these rooms, and next time get a higher ticket so I can sit in front with those people that are even more successful than me, because you always want to be the dumbest in the room so that you can start learning from everybody else. So whenever you go to a conference, it's good to get the top tier ticket, the VIP, the gold, the CEO, whatever it is that they have. So that way you can make friends with those people that are like high earners, really successful, and build those relationships. Of course, you need to exchange value. At these events, you're always trying to help each other out.
Okay, cool. And then what made you how'd you run into Albert?
So yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of conferences, and then Albert. So I also get mentorship from Ryan Panetta. I don't know if anybody knows who Ryan Panetta is. I'm in his inner circle as well. So I think Albert spoke at one of his WealthCon events. So I saw him speak, Latino, Mexican. He's actually from Echo Park too. So that I think that part was what really like I made the connection. I was like, dang, this guy's from the same hood as me. He's a local mentor. And Beverly Hills, I can have like easy access to him. So I don't have to travel to Vegas or anywhere else. So
Awesome. So you joined his mentorship and then did you go to Driven and then join his mentorship?
So Driven, actually, my first year in Driven was last year. So that was my first year at Driven, and I bought the CEO ticket. So I was in the front. I made a lot of made a lot of amazing connections and new friends. I got to speak with all the speakers that were at Driven. You get that backstage access. And man, I was talking to like Neil Patel, Ty Lopez, and a bunch of other crazy guys that are like super like successful, killing it. Daniel G.
So yeah, guys. So every time you go to an event, right, and we're gonna go into making FERIA also. Anytime you go to an event, this is just me, right? I know some people just want to be in the room, but if you can, right, and you can afford it as far as like the extra investment, always get the higher ticket because, right, you get to have more exclusive access, and we'll dive into that a little bit more, but it's like if you go to a Dodger game, right? Because I see Noe Vargas with the LA Dodgers right there repping, okay? That's a real Echo Park. Isn't it Dodger Stadium in Echo Park?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Man, I was losing my touch living over here in Corona forever. So like, uh, let me just be an Angel fan because I'm like 20 miles away. But no. So it's like going to a Dodger game, bro. Them nosebleeds, them nosebleeds, bro. Like you watch the game, like you're in there, but you're not really in there. You know what I mean? And then when you buy them, behind the plate seats, that's a whole different feeling. People look at you different. You might meet other people paying that top dollar, right? Same thing. Okay, just think about that. All right, if you want to go to an event just once, do the high level ticket, you'll maximize it. But You don't have to. That's just my recommendation. I learned it, and I don't know probably about you, Christopher. Chris, my bad. When you go to a driven event, my first year I went to driven, I
Yeah.
bought the one below CEO. I think it was a VIP,
VIP. Yeah.
and it was like a $2,000 difference at that time. But
Yeah.
I noticed everybody that was getting love was the CEOs. They were
Mhm.
getting shout outs, they were getting this, they were getting that. They were like, and people like straight up, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. If I talk to Chris and he's got a CEO badge and I got the freaking the $99 one, right? You know what I mean? Like, okay, Chris, either if he's not making money, he's trying to make money because he's investing that much more in himself. And I noticed that people would look at my badge when I got the CEO ticket, and more people would like want to converse, right? And it was always the people that had the smaller tickets, and it was cool. What I did on Sunday, right? I did two things, just so you guys know. Anytime you go to an event, stand out. I wore shorts, number one, because everybody was suits. I was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna wear shorts. So that they'll remember that, hey, the guy with the shorts. Okay. And number two, I took out my badge. So I took out my CEO ticket and I was still sitting in the front because obviously they already saved my seat. So I did that for a purpose. You get what I'm saying? Because I wanted people to talk to me and obviously understand where I'm coming from. You see what I mean? Like people judge a lot, right? Like you wouldn't know, like anybody can be anything, right? But people judge on the car you drive, obviously what you're wearing, right? This dude ain't got no money or whatever. So I was quick to know that. So what I did was I took out my badge, I wore shorts, and I was just mingling with everybody. My whole thing was I was mingling with a lot of people that got the lower tickets, the $99 ones. I should have been mingling with the CEOs, right? Because like the different kind of circle. But I was there just to give back, even though I was there to obviously consume information. Just something. Did you notice that thing, Chris? Can you give some feedback on that? Like, the $99 ticket people were probably trying to talk to you or something like that, just trying to connect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, when you're wearing the CEO badge, obviously people want to know who you are, this and that, ask you questions and stuff, which is fine, right? Um, and then real quick, when you guys get these tickets, you want to make sure you execute, right? You don't want to be that. I mean, I get it. Even I was an introvert. Like I was that person that just like, the first 10X I went to, I was like, I'm just gonna sit here, I'm not gonna look at nobody, and I'm not gonna do anything. But you got to get comfortable getting uncomfortable and get the courage to talk to that person next to you. Just say hi. I mean, everybody's usually positive at these events. So just say hi. Hey, my name's Chris. What do you do? Or is there anything I can help you with? What kind of business do you have? And so forth. But yeah, I agree with you, Santiago, for sure.
Got you. Okay, cool. And then another thing for me, guys, like some of you guys, and then we're gonna go talk to you about it right now. So Chris has an event, right? Chris has an event this Saturday in Beverly Hills. Okay. And it's called can you talk to him about the event, please?
Oh yeah. Everybody's invited. So basically, the events is we'll have this company I launched this year. It's called Making FERIA. So that's business coaching, events, and social media content creation. But yeah, we're gonna host a mastermind this Saturday in Beverly Hills. It's gonna be from 9 to 3, and we're gonna have a bunch of great speakers. Obviously, Santiago's gonna be there. We're gonna have people talking about taxes, starting your business and entities, e-commerce, managing employees, scaling your business, and exiting a business. Right? We know not a lot of people think about the exit. You want to grow your business to the point where it's sellable, so that one day you can sell it, or somebody in your family or whoever wants to take it on, then take it. Right? We're also going to have social media marketing professionals that do Facebook, Instagram, Google, all kinds of social media ads. So,
Okay. So it's gonna be in Beverly Hills this Saturday. He's gonna have, I think, like 8 or 9 speakers in Beverly Hills in a mansion there, his close friend. And real quick, what's the number? Is there a number they can text the word? Is there a number? I know
for
they
the
can use a special code, but Like right now, so everyone that's right here, do you have a link that maybe they can click? If you can put it in the
Yeah. Let me get that to you guys. So I'll put the link right here, and then I've been doing a special promo for everybody who's associated with Santiago here. So I think we said it was the promo code Ecom Bulldog.
yeah, Econ Bulldog guys, like trust me, if you can be in the room, if you get the VIP ticket, what are they gonna get besides all the special perks at the
Yeah, so
end?
the general ticket, I mean, you're there all day from 9 to 3. You get to see all the speakers, do a lot of networking. We're gonna have I just hired a taquero, we're gonna have drinks, we're gonna have music. I might even sing a few corridos. I don't know if anybody likes corridos right here. I'm a big fan of corridos. They get me pumped up. They always talk about business. Might not be good business, but it is business. So and
That's
then for the VIPs, if you go that extra mile, we're gonna go to dinner with Santiago and all the speakers and everybody who's committed to, be more successful and work on their business and themselves. So the dinner's gonna be at Javier's in Century City right after, like at 5 p.m. So it ends at 3, then we'll meet at Javier's.
cool. Can you put the link real quick in the chat?
Definitely. I'll get that going right now.
Awesome. So real quick, the promo code is Econ Bulldog. Like I said, if you guys don't know who like Tax Girl 6266 Pam, she's gonna be there, right? Nelson, he does real estate or solar? No, real estate, no? Is it
Now, who we're talking about?
Nestor, sorry.
Nestor. So he's worked with Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott, Tim Story. So he has a auto shop that works on all servicing vehicles, and he plans to franchise that and be the next big Jiffy Lube, right?
Okay, there you go. He put it right there. Got it.
Yeah.
So I tell people this, right? Like sometimes people want to start a business or they don't know what route to go. Remember, I was doing Amazon before credit and I had to pivot because Amazon wasn't liking drop shippers. So I had to figure it out. All right. So I was like, look, Amazon's not going to work for me. What do I have to do? I love credit. Let me dive into this business. Okay. So you guys got to do something is get in to something and you're going to fail. You're going to fail fast. However, being in these kind of rooms, right, you get to pick their brain in a sense. Hold on. You can connect with them and kind of like build that relationship, right? At the end of the day, right? Chris has gone through a lot of failures to get where he's at. It doesn't come easy, all right? And he's making this conference, you know, they're for the most part is making FERIA, they're all Latinos. I don't know. I just want
For the
for the
most
most
part, it's gonna be a Latino crowd. Yeah.
okay, cool. I mean, I didn't know if there was any other speakers up there because I know Tim Story's Moreno, no? I know
Oh,
he's yeah.
no, not Tim Story's not gonna be there, but Bruce Cardenas. He looks like a güero, but Cardenas, he might be Latino, man. So
Gotcha.
that guy owned Quest Protein Bar, and he exited that company with his partners for $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that is like super valuable. Everybody knows Quest Protein Bars. I mean, it's at Costco. It's freaking everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be one of the speakers, man. I'm gonna go first on the speaking thing. So I gotta hit it off with a banger, and then everyone's gonna follow me. That way, I started off, but there's gonna be some greats after me. And then obviously Chris is gonna be speaking. Just a network opportunity for you guys to get in the room. I think a few people here already got their tickets. Olivia, um, a couple other people definitely just showing up, being in the room. She was at the last school meetup, credits on the road. I think 700, almost 700 plus, or it's already 700 plus. So things like that. We'll ask a few more questions, Chris.
Yeah.
Now, what is one failure that you can tell the people like, hey, a troncazo, like, hey, bro, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I bought 100,000 worth of hearing aids, and hey, bro, I wasn't hearing myself. Like, what is something, bro, that you can be like, hey, bro, I took a hit on this real estate flip or whatever you want to share that was a
A real,
set COVID.
a real story.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, luckily I didn't have such a big, crazy downfall anytime throughout the journey. But something I really wish I would have started way before that is super valuable now is that everybody needs to work on their personal brand. You know, I started my personal brand last year after Driven when I started getting mentorship with Albert because he started to tell me, "Hey, man, you're pushing too much money on your ads." And well, it just depends what kind of business you have, right? Too. All my clientele is the elderly. So if I push ads, they're not really on Instagram. They're not really. I mean, some of them are on Facebook, which I have had success on Facebook. But if I would have
You can't
started
do
my personal,
you can't
what
do
was that?
radio as you because they can't hear you, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Some of them commented I can't hear you, but they know that I'm doing something. But I'll put the subtitles. I'll put the subtitles. So they're just trying to mess around with me. But yeah. So I started my brand, my personal brand, last year because last year around I would say October, November, I only had my friends and my family, which I had about 300 friends, followers, whatever. And right now we just surpassed over 9,000 followers. But if I would have started 10 years ago, man, that would have been great. I would have been in the 100,000s probably for sure in the 100,000s.
Gotcha.
So does anybody have questions about personal brand?
Yeah, guys. Ask some questions. Raise your hand real quick, and I think it's really important. And it's like different strokes for different folks, right? Not everybody want to be on social media, but everybody wants social media money. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Anything in your business, you can incorporate to social media. You just got to have a little bit of, como se dice, Mr. Escalante, ganas. Remember that movie? Stand and Deliver. You just got to have some ganas, right? You know, I talk about this to the 1% Club members. It's like people are going to talk smack one way or another, right? They're going to talk smack, right? I get roasted in the YouTube comments, right? But I love it. It
I'm
pushes me.
roasted too, man.
You know what I mean? If you're not getting roasted, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing nothing. Like seriously,
Yeah,
it's
you
okay.
can't take it personal.
Take a roast. You know,
Look at
take
this Mexican guru, yada yada yada.
take it on the chin. Take it on the chin. Hey, we got a question though. When you start taking them, oh, I'm sorry. When you start taking them, this is mine. Hold on. What do you guys recommend to connect with these high hitters? Conversation starter, example, what to say and start a relationship with them. Oh, that's a good question. So, what do you recommend to,
Yeah,
connect
it's
with?
super simple. I mean, these successful people, 99.9% of the time are super friendly. Like I met Ty Lopez, the most humblest guy ever. This guy's multimillionaire. I don't even know if he's a billionaire, but I mean, you just want to go up and say, "Hey, my name's Chris. You know, it's a pleasure meeting you." You know, if you don't know them, then just be like, "Hey, just want to know a little bit more about how you do it, what you do," and they'll know that will start a conversation, right? Or maybe you have a question about your own business. I mean, a lot of people are super extremely helpful at these events. So if you ask me a question like, "Hey, what do you think I should do for my Facebook marketing?" I would tell you, you know what, just grab your phone, do a video, say three service or products that you have, and then send me a message and then post it on Facebook and boost it, right? But I mean, you can ask for advice, you can just ask them their name, what do they do, what else would be good, Santiago? I
What
mean,
I like to do a couple things, right? Like, let's say Zulema, if you really want to connect with someone, do your homework on them and try to find a way. Like, there's a reason why you want to connect with that person. Like, for example, Albert and him, they connected because they're from Echo Park. That's an easy connection right there. Hey,
yeah.
bro, right there. I mean, my favorite movie is Mi Vida Loca, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like Echo Park, right? Just connecting each other because they're from the same body, or if you want to call it or whatever. But that's my connecting. Like, if you're gonna go, this is for Olivia, whoever bought their ticket already, right? Check all the speakers. Check all the speakers that are gonna go to the event. Do your homework, like 5, 10 minutes on each speaker. There's gonna be one that's gonna like point out your interest. Like, oh, you know what? It could be Chris. It could be Pam. It could be, anybody else. And then you're like, oh shoot, let me look at their Instagram profile and let me see where I can connect with them. Right? Oh, whatever it is, we all go through something. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you got 2 kids, I got 2 kids, or whatever it is. You have to have that connection so they can relate.
Relate.
Yeah. I get a lot of people, they hit me up and they're like, hey, Bulldog, love your stuff. And I'm like, oh, cool, bro. Have you bought the book? No. Have you got any of the courses? No. Are you in school? No. Are you in the free school? No. And I'm like, okay, cool. But if you, let's say Chris has a book, right? You buy his book before the event. Guess what? Hey, I got your book. I found it really, they're gonna remember. Like Grant Cardone says that, bro. I know Chris. Grant Cardone's like, hey, Grant Cardone, I love your stuff, bro. What have you bought? Have you bought any of my books? Have you bought my freaking $2 wristband? No, because it's like you're investing in them, but you're giving them a reason. Like, oh shoot, this guy really is a fan. I get people on YouTube. Oh, bro, I've been watching you 10 months. Credit's still at 500. Bro, keep watching, bro, because you're gonna stay at 500, bro, if you don't execute. And then that's the important thing. Like one of the gems that I know, after an event, I execute within 48 hours, or else you're not even gonna do it. If you go to an event and you get motivated, do something. Right? Like do something. At that event, I'm gonna do something cool at the event too that's gonna wow some people. I'm gonna do something funny. Yeah, it's gonna be good because we gotta wake them up. All right, we gotta wake them up. And the thing is, I have a question. This is a serious question for everybody. In your family, reflect to your family, right? And Miguel, Robert, Leo. If it's not you, who is it gonna be in your family? Look around and be like, dude, they ain't gonna be nobody, bro. We gonna stay in the gutter if we don't do something. And I'm using the gutter term like, obviously you want more, right? So you're like, damn, because I look around and I'm like, dude, I want to be great, right? I want to be great for that family legacy, but no, it ain't gonna be my cousin. It damn sure ain't gonna be my uncle. You talking about rich uncle? I got that coke addict uncle. Always asking me for money. The 1% I showed you guys the DMs. Like seriously, it just comes down to that. All right, guys. So making Feria Saturday. Anyone else got a question? Miguel Enriquez, he had his hand raised real quick. And look, if you guys, I have someone possibly he should be locked in. He's coming from Arizona to come to the event. Why? Because he wants to be in the room. Right? You come to the room, you film content, right? You get possibly a cool shirt, right? You go to Javier's. Like that's a day. Like I wish I would have known this in my 20s. I would have been farther along. Okay, that's what it comes down to. So, Miguel, you got a question? Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, Coach. Well, a quick question: when it comes to personal brand, a lot of great leaders like Andy Young, Uncle G, they're like Uncle G doesn't like using your personal name on stuff. Sometimes he's like, it's okay on certain services. How do you pick the right name for your company or your brand?
Your brand. You're talking about your personal brand or your company brand? Because that's
Your company brand, because like Andy Elliott, his brand is his name. That's his brand. Uncle G, Grant Condone is his brand, but it's also his company. So I just wanted to know, do you name it after yourself, or you name it like I believe yours, or what your t-shirt says, Making Feria, that's the name of your company, correct? Or that's your brand?
That's the company name and a little bit of partially of my brand, right? So when it comes to your personal brand, I mean, yeah, that's your name. I mean, Andy Elliott, he started in car sales, and then he was a really good salesman, and then he started coaching about sales, and then his name just became the business and the personal branding. But like for me, when I chose my hearing aid business name, I mean, it's called Virtue Hearing. I mean, it's kind of whatever you like or believe in. Virtue has a lot of definitions, but I like the one that said the quality of doing something right rather than wrong. So that's why I chose Virtue Hearing. So, and then your personal brand, well, your personal brand, you are your personal brand. So whether you think you have one or not, you have one. You're just not showing people. Your personal brand is just you. So a good book to read is How to Build Your Personal Brand by Dan Fleischman. I just finished that book last week, so that's a good one I would recommend for sure. I hope that answered the question, kinda. Did it?
Yeah, it did. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I was actually looking up the book right now because I'm
All
a
right.
little bookworm. Thank you.
Awesome. And then Zulema, you got a question? We'll take 2 more questions, and then Mr. Chris Medina, his time is valuable. So
Yeah. Hey, Christopher, how are you?
Good, good.
Thanks for coming on here. I was born in Glendale, so I'm familiar with Echo Park and Marshall. We used to whip you guys in soccer and softball. No, but I have a lot of friends, a lot of girlfriends that played softball there. But my question is, for instance, like you found your kind of niche per se with the hearing aids because of your uncle. Now, I think I don't know. There might be other people on here that are struggling with this. I will say this for myself, but I think mine is like, we all have so many talents. How do we just like pick that one thing and know that, and just like between passion and knowledge, like what would you say how to pick what we want to focus on?
Yeah, so what I tell people when they're choosing a product is something that they love, that they maybe even use, something they would buy because you already buy that program, you believe in that, I mean that product, you believe in that product, you use it. For example, let's say Kylie Jenner, she loved the lip gloss, she couldn't find some one day and she's like, you know what, I love this so much, I'm gonna start my own lip gloss line. Obviously, she has a big name and this and that, but something that you really like, what are some products that you might like or use that you currently use or have?
I honestly, with products, I don't really wear a lot of makeup, so I would probably say not the makeup industry, but I mean, I play music professionally. I play percussion, drumming, and I'm very much into like healing with food and herbs. So that's like the two things that I'm like very, very passionate about. But as of like, I'm not sure with actual items that I use or like things that I use every day. I wouldn't really know an actual
me
like
interject
product.
real quick. If you heal with food and herb, wouldn't you like start your own product on that?
No, so with that is so a lot of, I don't know if people know Dr. Sabi, Nipsey Hussle is making a documentary on him before he
Yeah.
passed away. So
Sure.
his son Victor, I became friends with him, and so I've been learning all the herbs and how to make things with him. So I usually get my herbs through him.
Yeah, maybe make your own, like Santiago's saying, maybe start getting your own herbs, making a little bolsita de Nile on there. And when is it, like a tea?
Yeah. So I've been starting, and I've been like helping people with like stage 4 cancer, a lot of people with side effects from the vaccine and things like that. And I've kind of just started, but I want to try to figure out how to kind of scale it where I can reach out to more people. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that.
I would just to help you out with that. This is what I would do, right? First, if you have a product, right, like brand it. If it's a pill, if it's a herb, whatever it is, brand it as your own or white label it. Because that's what a lot of companies do. They white label stuff. It's not really their company, they're just good marketers, right? You're really buying another person's product, they're just white labeling it, right? Like AliExpress, a whole bunch of products, everyone just put Mr. Pillow on it.
Right.
Well,
And you could just pay for that, right? You can pay, is there a process to pay for that label, Santiago and Christopher? Like, is there a
no, I'm just saying, like, for example, just trying to give you obviously it's a whole different kind of call, but just so you can get your process right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
First, you get the product, whatever product it is, right? Whether, let's say it's just going to be a bottle of herb, but it's your special herb, right? Or let's say the son, whoever that was, maybe he gave you opportunity for you to market it as your own, but he's going to charge you. Hey, just give me, X amount per sale or whatever the case. But now you have your product. What I would then do is do a website funnel of what your product can do. Because
Got
you
it.
need someone to go to the website, see the funnel, right? Hey, so and so got cured, so and so lost some weight, so and so did this, so-and-so can sleep better at night. Because you have to show what that product does, and then have some creative videos. You don't have to come out in the videos. It can just be testimonials and just boost them on Instagram so people can go to your website and then buy the product.
Gotcha. And would you like recommend with the, because I'm doing the drum healing, would you recommend to combine it or like do it separately with like my professional percussion playing, because I'm using that to help people heal too with the music.
That's what I would do. I would honestly use that as a ¿cómo se llama? As an upsell or a downsell, depending, right? Or like I'm sure it's upsell because it's you actually doing the drums, but it's just first is what product are you gonna sell? Do a dope ass funnel, and when I mean funnel, is like people don't like websites no more. They want a funnel. Take me to the journey, top to bottom. Okay, cool. Testimonial. Okay, cool. Buy now, all over, right? Don't mention the price, and then they click, and then they would see what the price. Hey, you buy two, you get this. You know what I mean? That's a whole different topic. But first, get your product. If you're passionate about healing, you need your own product. And I'll share with you. You guys know who Pacino is? You guys can look him up later. Pacino. He started as a barber. Okay, and I don't want to like weigh down that a barber is not a barber. You can make a lot of money, and he started cutting people's hair. Wrong person to say this, but he used to cut Diddy's hair, you know. But yeah, so he started cutting his hair, and then he became famous, and then he had his own product, right? Like if you look at Pacino, he does all his videos. Like he puts a darker mustache right here, right? Like, you know, some people might be balding, a little spray, right? He's got like the little goatee line, whatever it is. But then that was his product that he made. You know what I mean? Like for example, like my daughter, right? She loves lip gloss. And I'm just like, okay, babe, let's make your own lip gloss, right? That means you have to test some samples, right? You got to make sure it doesn't irritate. That's building a product. Okay, remember, you are the brand. People buy it because of you. You know what I mean? And yes, and what it does, and look at testimonials don't lie. Results don't lie. So if you have a good product and you believe it, just go all in on your product and it'll work out. Like you just figure it out as you grow. But good questions, Zulema. All right, guys?
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you both. Thank you.
You're in Glendale, so I hope to see you at the event. No excuses. You can ask more questions like that. You know, seriously.
Gotta make it happen.
What a question if you can ask that Quest guy. He exited, the company for $1 billion. Like, imagine you had a product. Hey, I got this product. What would you recommend? And he gives you freaking, some fire information, bro. Take off with it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
I might have to offer myself performing for free for Christopher to get into the event.
You're gonna
I can message you later.
give us a little show.
Send him a sample, bro. This is,
Yeah, send it through.
do me a favor, guys. Can you hit him a follow on IG? I know you guys show him some love real quick. If you guys are not following him, it's the Chris Medina, correct?
Yeah, the _Chris Medina. And yeah, let's connect. I mean, I know this is your inner circle, so if anybody wants to get on a call 15 minutes, maybe I can guide you guys in the right direction. Just shoot me a message and we'll chat for sure.
Awesome.
Let's see if this thing works for the book.
He's almost at 10,000 subs, so definitely give him a little love right there. Hey, 10,000.
The author's name is Dan Fleischman.
Oh, with the book, awesome.
Personal brand, Dan Fleischman. His last name's kind of weird, so I just stuck the link on there.
All right, guys, make sure you follow him on IG. Hey, if you're local, definitely pull up to the event. If you get the VIP ticket, sit next to me at Javier's, whatever it is. Let's make this happen. All right, guys. So see you guys. Hey, Chris, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys, and let's chat on the social media. All right, guys, take care.
Thank you.